Okay, it is the first week of April, and I'm gonna go plant onions. I did some of the bed prep yesterday. I still have to do some of it today. Um, these onions have been out in my little greenhouse for the last month, so they're hardened off to sun. They're ready to go. And then for the last week, I took them out of the greenhouse and put them on a table. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there you go. They're on a table. Please pretend our driveway isn't trashy. But anyway, all of these guys got to go in the ground. They've been out on this table during the day, and then, oh, wrong button. I know what I'm doing. There we go. Making everybody sick. Um, they've been out on this table for about a week. And then at night, I've been pulling them into the garage. So they've been exposed to steadily lower temperatures. I think the lowest it got in the garage while they were in there was like 30. They were totally fine. So we're putting them in the ground. I do have low tunnels to put over them because next week there are 2 nights in a row where it's supposed to get down to 22, and they should be fine. They might even be fine at this point outside um, at that temperature, but we'll see. But anyway, my I'm gonna get all of this up the hill and then get started. Yeah. Okay, so here's the garden. We've got 8 50-foot beds and then a few shorter ones. There's 2 short ones kind of over there-ish. And then there's a big path in there for the thing. So I'm going to plant the first 2 beds today. And I'm going to start time-lapse in a minute and figure out how this works. So yesterday I got about half my onions done and then put them in a low tunnel. Today I have to finish up that little project. I was hoping to get it all done yesterday. That was delusional. But the low tunnel held up really good. It was kind of windy last night, so that was nice to see. But yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy the sun and plant some plants. That's the plan. Okay, so the night before, I had put all the leftover onions that needed transplanted under the low tunnel just to keep them from getting frosty overnight. And I'm organizing them based on how long they're going to stay in the ground. So the parts that are closest to the camera are the ones that are going to be in the ground the longest. The things like leeks are storage onions. They are at the close end of the row. And then the ones that are going to be harvested first are kind of at the other side. Um, I have a nice trowel and it was in the house, so I'm using a stick to plant these onions because I had gotten the dog out there and he was all settled in and I didn't want to go back to the house to get a trowel. Um, yeah. I'm also adding a little bit of like micro rhizal inoculant to each hole as I'm planting them. These are new garden beds, so they haven't really had any of that added to them. Yeah, but this is the whole process. I'm also walking down the hill to get water. We since have gotten enough hoses to actually reach, and I'm quite stoked that I don't have to keep doing that. Okay, so I ran out of potting soil. Nobody wants to watch me seed onions for 3 hours anyway. So I'm just gonna do a real quick chit chat about what varieties I'm planting and why I'm planting so many. Our main like white onion is gonna be Ailsa Craig's. Don't know if you can see that. They're a reasonably good storage onion. They get pretty big. All of my onions are long day onions because I live in a long day area. And then the Stuttgart onions, these are from Seeds Ireland. If you're in the EU, I loved everything I grew from Seeds Ireland. Yeah, I think I did 40 of these, 77 of the Elsa Craig. Yeah, 40 Stuttgart. Long Red of Florence. I had some old and some new from Botanical Interests, so I marked them in their rows of the planter, which ones were old and which ones were new, and I way overseeded these old seeds to see what kind of germination we get. These are one of my favorites, so I did 77 of them. We use these to make pickled onions. They're awesome. Regular onions. I did 24 Cortland onions. They're a hybrid, never grown them before. It says they have a really good storage life. Those are from High Mowing. And then these were packed for 2024. I bought a ton of seeds that were 2024 seeds at the end of the year for half off. Those are all High Mowing and Botanical Interests. That's what they carry at my local farm supply. These Red Baron are a normal red onion size. It says it's bolt proof. I've never had a problem with bolting onions, but I don't know. Okay storage for a red onion, it says. Yeah. These Reinsberger are another storage onion. I think I did 40 of these also. We eat a lot of onions. A lot of onions. They're in literally everything we eat. So I figure for like a full-sized onion, we want one per day for 2 adults. And just everything we cook for the year. And then like these long reds and shallots, I'm probably gonna give a lot of them away to my siblings, the neighbors, especially the shallots. Those do shallots. These are Brunei shallots. I'm planning 150 of them because I will mince them and freeze them and add them to literally everything until they run out. I have MI Gardeners and Botanical Interests because I hadn't bought these. I couldn't find in the half off bin. So I bought these and then realized that I wanted to grow more. So I've got one of each. I'm gonna do one tray of each. I'm gonna mark them. We'll see which one gets better germination or if there's any difference at all. But I love these Zebrune shallots. It's probably Zebrune. Zebrune? I don't know. I think it's French, so, and I don't do French. I keep saying it like it's Italian. But yeah, I really love these. I want a ton of them. Bring on the duxelle with the shallots. I did 40 multi-sown plugs of these Tokyo long white bunching onions. But I multi-sowed them because I want them to be in little clumps so I can go through and just harvest a clump of them for whatever we're eating that week, whatever's left over, because 40 is a lot for the summer. We're not going to eat 40 clumps of spring onions in the summer, but I will cut them and freeze them in like little rings so that we have them for the rest of the year. And then back to onions. These, I got red onions, more Carmen. They were good. They worked well in Finland. I'm hoping they work well here. Yeah. What was the last one? Oh, and these Rouge de Genève, these ones, Red of Geneva. They're like a flat Cipollini kind of, but red. And I really like these. And I really like if you're gonna eat like fresh red onions. I think these are less, they give you less of like the fire dragon onion breath. So I have these. Those are all of these sativa seeds of Ireland are older, so I multi-sowed them. We'll see what comes up, what doesn't. I used the last of the Stuttgarts from Seeds Ireland, and then the last of the Elsa Craigs. These are my favorite. The Elsa Craigs from Sativa, so I'm either going to try to save seed or buy more. I'm going to have to buy more for next year anyway, because onions are biennial, so even if I planted them this year, they wouldn't grow till next year. Anyway, and then ran out of potting soil before I did the leeks. I've got 3 kinds. Oh, I've got 4 kinds. I'm not growing 4 kinds of leeks this year. I'm gonna grow 77 of these Alto leeks from High Mowing. I love leeks. I think these are a smaller leek. I don't think they're like a big honkin' like 2-inch diameter one. Doesn't say. We'll see. Really love leeks. Love them in stir fries, fajitas, because it's easier than doing like the strips of onion. I love leeks. And then like in gratins, like sweet potato gratin with leeks and fennel is one of my favorite things. The other ones that I'm growing are these Autumn Giant from Seeds Ireland. I grew these before. They didn't have time to get to full size. I'm gonna try to do better this year, and we'll see. Once I run out of these, I'm out of these. Just seeing if I have enough. And then later, after everything else is already in the ground, I'm gonna start these Frizo. They're an overwintering leek, so I'm gonna try to overwinter these through next winter. Yeah, and then these are another from Sativa in Switzerland. I'm hoping that if you can overwinter something in Switzerland, you can overwinter it in Vermont. But we'll see. We'll see. The other one that I have that I'm not starting is these Am I Gardener American Flag leeks. I might try to overwinter these as well. I'm just out of room in the garden, out of containers to plant things in. But yeah, I might try to overwinter like 40 of these. But after everything else is already out there and I have containers again and can succession plant those, we'll see. So anyway, tomorrow I'm gonna go pick up more, I'm gonna go pick up more potting soil and finish up the leeks and the shallots, and then probably just show you guys the grow situation downstairs, and that'll be the end of the video. But yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing.